Australia is known for its abundant natural resources, and one of its most valuable exports is liquefied natural gas, LNG. With the rise in global energy demand, China has emerged as a significant market for Australian LNG. In this article, we will explore the extent of Australia's LNG exports to China and delve into the dynamics of this crucial trade relationship. Australia is currently one of the largest exporters of LNG globally, and China is its primary trading partner in this sector. The exact volume of LNG exports to China fluctuates over time due to various factors such as market demand, production capacity, and geopolitical considerations. However, it is estimated that around 40 to 45% of Australia's total LNG exports are sent to China. Australia possesses vast reserves of natural gas, particularly in the form of coal seam gas and offshore gas fields. This abundance has fueled the country's emergence as a major player in the LNG market. With China's growing energy needs and a desire to transition towards cleaner fuels, Australian LNG has become an attractive option for meeting China's rising demand. The Australia-China LNG trade relationship dates back to the early 2000s when China's rapid economic growth led to an increased demand for energy resources. Australia, with its vast gas reserves, was well positioned to meet this demand. Consequently, several long-term contracts were signed between Australian LNG producers and Chinese buyers, solidifying the foundation of this trade relationship. Australia has invested significantly in developing its LNG export infrastructure to support its growing exports. The country has multiple LNG production facilities located along its coastline, with Western Australia and Queensland being the primary hubs. These facilities extract natural gas, liquefy it through a cooling process, and load it onto specialized LNG carriers for transportation. China has witnessed exponential growth in its energy consumption, driven by its expanding industrial sector and increasing urbanization. To meet this demand, China relies heavily on imported natural gas, including LNG. Australia's proximity to China and its ability to provide a reliable and secure LNG supply have positioned it as a favored trading partner. Long-term contracts between Australian LNG producers and Chinese buyers play a crucial role in ensuring a stable supply of LNG. These contracts often span several years and involve commitments regarding both volume and pricing. The pricing of LNG is typically linked to the prevailing market rates for crude oil and factors in additional costs associated with liquefaction, transportation, and regasification. Geopolitical factors can influence the dynamics of Australia-China LNG trade. Changes in trade policies, diplomatic relations, or regional tensions can impact the trade volume and pricing of LNG exports. It is essential for both countries to maintain a favorable trade environment to sustain and enhance their LNG trade relationship. What are the benefits of Australia exporting LNG to China? Exporting LNG to China brings several benefits to Australia. It strengthens economic ties, generates revenue, supports job creation, and fosters technological advancements in the LNG sector. Additionally, it helps China meet its growing energy demands and reduce its reliance on more carbon-intensive energy sources. Are there any environmental concerns associated with LNG exports? While LNG is considered a cleaner fuel compared to other fossil fuels, there are still environmental considerations. The extraction and production processes of natural gas can have environmental impacts, such as methane emissions. However, strict regulations and industry practices aim to mitigate these concerns and ensure sustainable LNG production. Are there any alternatives to Australian LNG for China? China diversifies its LNG sources to ensure a stable supply. In addition to Australia, China also imports LNG from countries such as Qatar, Russia, Malaysia, and the United States. The availability of alternative supplies gives China flexibility in meeting its energy needs. How does LNG transportation from Australia to China work? LNG is transported from Australia to China through specialized LNG carriers. These vessels are designed to store and transport liquefied natural gas at extremely low temperatures. Once the LNG reaches its destination in China, it undergoes a regasification process to convert it back into its gaseous form for distribution and use. Can the Australia-China LNG trade relationship be affected by geopolitical tensions? Geopolitical tensions have the potential to impact the Australia-China LNG trade relationship. Any disruptions in diplomatic relations, trade policies, or regional conflicts could influence the volume of trade and pricing dynamics. However, both countries have a shared interest in maintaining a stable and mutually beneficial trade environment. Australia's liquefied natural gas industry plays a vital role in meeting China's growing energy demands. With approximately 40 to 45% of Australia's total LNG exports being sold to China, the trade relationship between the two countries in this sector is significant. By capitalizing on Australia's abundant natural gas reserves and China's need for cleaner energy sources, this partnership has become mutually beneficial. It not only strengthens economic ties but also contributes to the transition toward a more sustainable energy future.